I want to start this analysis by a very passionate appeal. I want to talk to people who listen to my analysis, subscribe to the Deals of the Bold podcast. Hustler Fund is there for you. I am talking to you who is watching this video. Hustler Fund is not there for Raila, Ruto, or Uhuru Kenyatta. Hustler Fund is not targeting even your governor or your MP. And that fund do not know where you come from. It's an online application, and so everyone has access to it. One of the biggest scare we had was that it will be used to profile people. I can tell you, have your idea, go for the Hustler Fund. Go for it. Go for it. I know we've trivialized and really criticized some aspects, but the concept is big if it is well managed. That's not why I'm doing this analysis. I want us to look at, I even forgot to welcome you in the Bold podcast. I want us to look at some two photos. There are photos that have been shared when William Ruto met with a contingent of leaders from the Western region. And look at the photo you are seeing on your screen. In that photo, you can see different leaders there. You can see Rigathi Gachagua, Moses Wetangula. You can see my good friend Boni Khalwale. You can see Francis Atwoli, William Ruto, Rashid Echesa, and those leaders. Then there is this other meeting. There is this other photo. The one you're seeing is one that was shared of Atwoli with William Ruto. It was in the same meeting. There are two tweets. One by Francis Atwoli saying, "This morning I paid a courtesy call to His Excellency William Ruto, whereby we held discussions on Kenya's ratification of International Labour Organization C-190 and outsourcing of labor. I also sought an appointment with the head of state to meet and share with all KOTU affiliated secretary generals." Atwoli is telling us there that he sought an appointment with William Samoei Ruto. So there are two photos. One is a photo of Atwoli meeting with the leaders, Atwoli meeting William Ruto, and there is another one of Western leaders meeting with William Ruto. Which one do you buy? Which one do you buy? I've looked at those two. The real issue here, I don't understand why the media have narrowed that meeting to be a Ruto Atwoli meeting, while the photos the meeting was not exclusively about Atwoli. And if it's about trade unions, then you could have seen the Minister for Labor, Florence Bore, the former Kericho women rep. Eh? Do you think this is something that needed the attention of the president? Maybe yes, maybe no. But if that meeting was specifically called for the issues of labor, then we would have seen a cabinet minister in charge of labor in that meeting. And Francis Atwoli would have also gone there alone without other officials from KOTU. ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to read politics from the whole meeting, but I just want to give a very interesting my take on this. There was an agenda that was set to narrow down that meeting, and successfully it served the purpose of showing that Atwoli is now with William Ruto. I've always said there is no problem. Raila Odinga doesn't have anything to offer these other leaders. The national kitty rests with William Ruto in Statehouse. And I'm one person who I don't feel, and you should not feel bad, that a leader who was with Raila Odinga is now going to meet William Ruto. Totally, there is no problem. Because government is running. And the people in the villages that expect things need to run. Boni Khalwale, check Boni Khalwale straight. He was part of that, and he's saying he actually narrowed that meeting to be Kakamega leaders meeting Raila Odinga. My good friend Boni made that. And when I saw his tweet, I said, yes, that is it. But the media reported Atwoli meeting Ruto. That is part of it. But I think that was the narrow, and it covered the real thing. In fact, Atwoli was a strong critic of William Ruto. And when you see him now with Raila Odinga, I like that photo because it shows the spirit of a handshake. I like it. I like it because that is what we've always been told, that I don't want to work with the opposition, I don't want to work with the X, because do you know that in the last general election, Atwoli was an emblem of opposition. He campaigned for Raila Odinga passionately. Some of the people were making a trivializing, saying that he believed in Raila Odinga's presidency more than even Raila Odinga himself. But this is what is being covered that no one is telling you. Western leaders went for Atwoli. And that meeting was not about trade unions. No. No. It was not about trade unions. That meeting was a meeting of Western leaders that consolidated themselves to go and meet William Ruto. And that is in good spirit. I'm waiting for the day that even Luo Nyanza leaders shall also consolidate and go to meet William Ruto in Statehouse. Because it is not a tragedy that is the new way of lobbying for something for your people. Yes. If you're not in the table, according to William Ruto's style, I think you need to come closer to him. And he has shown good intentions. I agree with a statement that Raila Odinga is sitting quite uncomfortable with whatever is happening. You see people who are with him now crossing over. He seems to be the only person that is now standing with the quest for the truth and justice. Kalonzo Musyoka looking fluky. And what I know very well is that I know people have interpreted Atwoli's meeting with William Ruto as betraying Raila. No, nothing like betraying Raila. What Raila has to do, I don't think that's it. No, nothing like betraying Raila. I'm also one person that stand by the fact that it is time for Raila Odinga to groom and go with the other leaders. I agree with that. That's time for Raila to groom the other leaders. The reason why we narrowed that Western region meeting as a meeting between Ruto and Atwoli is because we want to use it to talk about some legitimacy, to gain some political legitimacy. That's it. Atwoli leads trade unions. So when you see him there, he's representing trade unions. So like all the workers in this country now support William Ruto. Number two, Atwoli was someone who was a critic of William Ruto and was Raila Odinga, it's also a political statement that maybe is jumping ship to join William Ruto. What's the problem for that? It is fine. The real detail is this. Western leaders went to meet William Ruto. I think if I take the concept, the theory of Kakamega Senator, is that they are consolidating the Kakamega basket through Atwoli to boost their lobbying potential. We have pending CAS nominations that is yet to be named. Western region did not get any position in the Yala. And now leaders like Echesa, Malala, Washeli are in the cold. And even if Ruto is going to name the CIS, he cannot name all of them. Malala was a very strong campaigner of William Ruto, and even believed to have really lobbied for Kalonzo from Davadi to join William Ruto. He was used in that deal. So Kakamega also is being slippery. In fact, in the last general election, they did not vote for William Ruto really well. So what I see here is typically these other leaders are using Atwoli to boost their lobbying power and tell them to kufurize, Kakamega is now behind you, so that they can get something for themselves. Those leaders. Mudavadi is also right to consolidate his political base. And if he's using this to get a stake for himself, why not? But this is it. With Rigathi Gachagua in the mix, Mudavadi will have to consolidate Western and look for Raila's side so that they can consolidate Raila Kalonzo. Then you can make a move. Ruto is cooling temperatures by the handshake issue, and that's rightfully in order. This will also be an interesting Bungoma by election. I don't know how it will play out, but I think it's far from it. It looks like just trying to cool and manage the way things are going. There is no blow to Raila Odinga in this. This has nothing to do with Raila. This is purely Western interest at play. And if this is the new way of making sure that we get development to the people, why not? It's time for also other leaders rushing to Statehouse. That's my take.